Narayana. Hari Om and good morning from Niagara Falls. If you didn't know that you were here. Bhagavan Shiva is often described as Satyam, Shivam, Sundaram. Satyam can be associated with Sat or existence. The Shivam aspect of Bhagavan Shankara can be associated with the Chit, the awareness. And what we're focusing on, the Sundara part of Bhagavan Shankara, can be associated with Ananda or joy. When one says Bhagavan Shiva is Satya, Shiva, Sundara, that's really indicating that Bhagavan Shiva is Brahman, who is Sat, Chit, Ananda. And why I'm sharing this is because we're studying Sundara Kanda within the Sundara Ramayana. This is a chapter on Ananda or happiness within a text on Ananda or happiness. Today is most important because today is Bhagavan Rama's Jayanti. And here we are together studying if Ramayana is an inner science, this is the inner of this inner science. And the word Rama means Sarveshu Ramante iti Ramaha. Sarveshu means within all. Ramante, reveling, that is Bhagavan Rama. Bhagavan Rama's Jayanti is not his birth. Bhagavan Rama is not born. He doesn't die. Bhagavan Rama's Jayanti is when a sadhaka, that is us, we feel his presence. The word used is sambhavami. Sambhavami means Bhagavan manifests and unmanifests. That is up to a sadhaka. For extrovert sadhakas, you can't call them sadhakas, when they're looking for joy outside of themselves, then there's never Rama Jayanti. But for someone who's a sadhaka, they're introvert, every day is Rama Jayanti. Hanumanji, monkeys, Jambavan, they are all at Rameshwaram. Sambati has shared, I can see Mother Sita. They're all trying to figure out who's going to inform Mother Sita that Bhagavan Rama is coming. Jambavan guides Hanumanji to realize the purpose of his life. Hanumanji tells all of the beings there, wait for me. I will go and come, but you wait for me. That way we can go and celebrate together. And as he's leaving them, he actually bows down to those monkeys. He bows down to Jambavan. And what is beautifully shown here Wherever there is Vinaya, what can't be far? Vijaya. Where there's Vinaya, there's Vijaya. Vishesha Jayati, a special victory. Ordinary victory, I beat you. Extraordinary victory, I beat myself. And that is through humility, you beat the ego. And Hanumanji shows this. When someone has beaten themselves, they become the best. When there is Vijaya, I've defeated my inner enemies, what else would happen other than Jaya? That is outer victory. I have all virtues like discipline and focus when there isn't anger and greed to distract me, to confuse me. As Hanumanji leaves Rameshwaram for Lanka, he first comes across Mainaka. Mainaka is a mountain, and this mountain asks Hanumanji to rest on him. What's the rush? We like to think about that when it comes to enlightenment, isn't it? We all believe in reincarnation. If you don't get enlightened in this lifetime, there's next lifetime. Next lifetime. What's the rush? Hanumanji touches Mainaka and continues. For us, the Vedanta and all of this, is when we lose sight of our aspirations, of our goal, then we lose ourselves in comfort. But as long as you've kept liberation, you've kept service as the purpose of your life, you do not lose yourself in comfort, in complacency. Pujya Swami Tejamananda shared about meeting Mainaka. Who is rest for? Rest is for those who are tired, isn't it? If you're not tired, why would you rest? Yesterday afternoon, we left Seattle, flew to Chicago, Chicago to Buffalo. So this morning we arrived in Buffalo like 12 a.m. And Vyasa was wide awake, chatting it up with Sheila and the people around. And I said, this young boy, this infant, he has a problem. He has his father's vasanas when it comes to sleep. That he just doesn't like to sleep. For me, I don't sleep due to stress, though. He doesn't sleep because he's not tired, right? It doesn't matter what city he is, he's just awake and playing. Now think, rest is only for the tired. Aren't we always looking forward to our vacations? Snow days. You even like it when it's snowing wherever I am, so we don't have Vedanta and Ramayana class. But that's why I teach virtually. Snow can't stop us from having our satsang. Rest is for the tired. And that was part of our reflection adventure of the week from last week, which I'll elaborate on. Mainaka. Who's coming next? Surasa. So we continue reading. I'm on the third section of Chaupais. Third section. I'm reading the third Chaupai, the first line. Tahi mari maruta sutta veera, bharidi paragayu mati dhira. Tahi mahi. To her, hit. Maruta Sutta Veera. Hanumanji hit her. Please keep listening as I'm sharing this insight. We all know that Hanumanji will meet Surasa, and Hanumanji will meet Simhika also. But in Goswamiji's Ramayana, the name Simhika is not given. That's why I'm saying he hit her. Bharati paragayu mati dhira, and in a fast way, he arrives in Lanka. So leading up to this, As Hanumanji left Mainaka, this snake-like being arose from the water. And she said, the Devatas sent me. And he said, sent you for what? The Devatas sent me to test you. Test me how? I want to eat you. And so Surasa opens her mouth and says, I'm going to eat you. How big is Hanumanji when he's flying from Rameshwaram to Lanka? 1 yojana. 1 yojana is 8 miles. 8 miles is like 13 kilometers or so. So he's 13 kilometers big. If you can visualize that distance. So she opens her mouth, 8 miles. As soon as she reaches 8 miles, she opens her mouth. He's at 16 miles now. 2 yojanas big. 16 miles. That's more than a half marathon for those who have run a half marathon. Just imagine how large Hanumanji is. So she's been sent by the gods. She's not in this for play. She makes the circumference of her mouth 128 miles. Imagine a hole that big, 128 miles. As soon as she's done that, Hanumanji is already at 256 miles. He's now covering 256 miles with his body. When he's finished that, she's at 512 miles now. And then Hanumanji goes to 800 miles. Shata Yojana. And when she opens herself up to Shata Yojana, to 800 miles, what does he do? Becomes as small as a mashaka, as a gnat. One description is shared. When Hanumanji became that small, he entered into Surasa's mouth, came out, he bowed to her too. This being that looks like a snake who said, I have to test you by consuming you, he bows to her and says, may I proceed? And naturally, she was very happy with that. And Hanumanji continued. And as Hanumanji is flying, he slowly feels like he's being drawn to the water. And who's that? Simhika. Again, the name is not mentioned in Goswamiji's Ramayana. Simhika is known to be the sister of Rahu. You know, we're always scared of Rahu living in our home. So Rahu's sister is Simhika. And she had the ability that any shadow that came onto the water where she lived, she could use that shadow to pull the actual being down. So her primary diet was birds. Now Hanumanji is so big, correct? She's inferring that, hey, he got to 800 miles and he may be 8 miles now. No bird is that big. This is going to be the best day. And so she starts pulling Hanumanji down, and he doesn't even have a dialogue with her. He just destroys her and continues to Lanka. That's all that is shared about Simhika. This is the Katha. Is there anyone here who hasn't heard this portion of Sundarkand before? Everyone here has heard? Really? I didn't know there was people who existed that didn't know about Surasa and Simhika. This makes this even more meaningful then. How many of you have seen the original Ramayana that was presented on TV, this Sundarkand part? You know, Hanumanji's tail's floating, he keeps kicking his legs, legs like that. So let's focus on Surasa. Where there is change, there is going to be challenges. Agreed? Where there is change, there's going to be challenges. When you know the purpose of a challenge, then that is called, what is it called? When you know the purpose of a challenge. Training. It's called training. I just met a young lady who's doing her residency in general surgery, and she has to work 80 hours a week, essentially, for how many years? 7 years, 80 hours a week. And she was quite happy and quite healthy because she knows the purpose of that challenge. So she is in training. Now, all of us, imagine this upcoming week, you have to work 70 or 80 hours a week, professionally or seva or whatever. Would you be able to do it happily and healthily? Yes, because you know it's 1 week. Now multiply that by 7 years. When we don't know the purpose, this becomes a problem. Without purpose, problem. With purpose, training. Surasa was sent by the Devatas to gauge Hanumanji's bala, buddhi, dhairya, and shraddha. That's what Sampati said. Only someone who has bala, buddhi, dhairya, shraddha will make it to Mother Sita. So the Devatas went to Surasa to test Hanumanji, essentially to ensure that he is the right person for this work because they need his work done. And Surasa says, I need to consume you. The Devatas sent me. But now think, who sent Hanumanji? Bhagavan Rama. So the Devatas have given one order, Bhagavan Rama has given another order. This is very much like our lives, you know? Our parents have shared one thing, our spouses have shared another thing. Our kids want this, society wants this. What is shown here with Surasa is the challenge that comes with following dharma. And Hanumanji is showing here, there is samanya dharma, and then there's parama dharma. Samanya dharma is ordinary dharma. Going to work, going to school, cleaning the house. Then there's parama dharma. Parama dharma is engaging in sadhana, living a life for Bhagwan. And he's telling Surasa, the Devatas are telling you, and this is being inflicted on me, samanya dharma. It's a lower responsibility. And Hanumanji's focus is on the higher responsibility, the parama dharma. For us too, we have to evolve from worldly responsibilities, samanya, to divine responsibilities, which is parama. Now some may be thinking, isn't all we do divine? Yes. With the right vision, all of the work we do is divine. But even within divine work, we have to be quite objective. I can drive to a restaurant and eat there and meet someone whom I want to develop a contract with. So that's my samanya dharma. But I go with the vision that this is Bhagwan's work and I'm going to meet Bhagwan. The other option is I wake up early and I come to listen to Vedanta and Ramayana on Sunday morning. I also have the vision that this is Bhagwan's work, I'm going to meet Bhagwan. Both of these have the vision of Paramadharma, but one that is coming to the ashram, being in satsang, is the factual, objective Paramadharma. And that's what Hanumanji follows. In one Ramayana, what is shared relating to Surasa and Hanumanji, Hanumanji had a trace of prestige. It was fast for him to make his body 128 miles, 800 miles, but for her it was slower. She was a snake, so she had to essentially distend her jaw to make her jaw that big. So Hanumanji felt that prestige, that I'm faster. And as soon as that trace came, he observed this right away. And when he observed this, what did he do? Became small. For us too, if you sense that prestige, that ego, what to do? Be quiet. Let everyone else be the focus and not you. Hanumanji was able to be aware of that right away, so the work went on. For us, some of us, we realize that after months, years. Some of us haven't realized it yet. So the work sputters along then. Surasa is an icon of greed. Greed. And what Swami Tejamananda said, another word to understand greed by is taste. Taste. Once you taste good food, can you ever go back to bad food? It's a simplified form of greed. With greed, once you have a article, a being, a circumstance, once you taste that more and more and more, becoming small, Hanumanji's becoming small, symbolizes santosha. Santosha is contentment. What is the cure for greed? Contentment. What is the cure for being indulgent when it comes to diet? Santosha is being accepting. Hanumanji shows all of this. And he continues. And then we met Simhika. If Surasa is greed, what is Simhika then? Who is someone who pulls you down? What vice is that? Anger, jealousy. Simhika is the icon for jealousy. In Sanskrit, the word for jealousy is matsarya. Mat sarati. Mat means from me, sarati, you've gone ahead. If you're behind me, awesome. If you're beside me, it's okay. But once you're ahead of me, jealousy. And I start to pull you down. That's what Simhika did. Jealousy is like a matchstick. When you hit a matchstick, it burns first and then starts to burn others, correct? Isn't jealousy the same way? If I have jealousy in my heart or in my head, I'm burning first, and then I can't hold that in, so I start to express it to you. I say this about you, I feel like this about you. A matchstick. If that jealousy comes, what should we do? Don't give jealousy even a moment of room or space or time. You have to destroy this right away. That's why Hanumanji never talked to Simhika. He destroyed her immediately and went on with jealousy. You can't rationalize jealousy, correct? If you rationalize jealousy, then we'll become more jealous. We have to destroy jealousy and continue to do Bhagwan's work. Mainaka, Surasa, Simhika. Mainaka is confusion. You lose sight of one's goal. Surasa is greed, and Simhika is jealousy. Hanumanji is a sadhaka, that's you and I. He's trying to meet Mother Sita. She is Shanti. That's what we're trying to invoke. And there's another challenge that is about to be presented. This is a beautiful doha, a sad one also. Beautiful because I'm on the 8th section of Chaupais. I'm reading the doha, the first line. Nijapada nayana diye mana rama pada kamala leena. She hears Mother Sita. Why this is beautiful? Because Mother Sita is brought back to our katha. We can see the light at the end of the tunnel. And when Hanumanji sees her, pada nayana, her eyes are looking at her own feet. Though her eyes are looking at her own feet, mana Rama pada, her mind is at Bhagwan Rama's feet. And when Hanumanji sees her, he feels most miserable. Because all he knows is Bhagwan Rama and Bhagwan Rama's joy. So the spouse of joy should be like that too, right? And here she is, suffering, and feels very sad. Hanumanji arrives on Lanka. And Lanka geographically is most beautiful. The fortress that is Lanka is known as Sone ki Lanka. That the walls around this palace, this kingdom, were made of gold. And not just gold, but inlaid, designed with precious jewels. Hanumanji had arrived at night, because that's the best time to spy. And he can't spy if he's 8 miles big, so he becomes that mashaka, like with Surasa, like we'll see with Mother Sita. And he's buzzing around. Lanka's first defense, though, is Lankini. Lankini can hear Hanumanji. She says, "Hey, did you not see that I'm here? Reveal yourself." Hanumanji reveals himself. "Thief? You're coming into Lanka to steal from us?" And Hanumanji, he took it. "You're a thief, but I know who sent you. He's a greater thief. I know you're a messenger. That Rama is the thief." And Hanumanji did not accept that. And he, with his, they call it mushtika, and he just hit her. And she fell down, spitting up blood. Lankini. And they had a dialogue, which I'll elaborate on. And then Hanumanji went into Lanka. And he was there to find Mother Sita. And he thought, if he can find Ravana, he'll find Mother Sita. So he started looking for Ravana. Palace to palace to palace. And then he saw the most formidable being. And what was that person doing? Shayana kiye. Ravana was sleeping. The most intense person, but sleeping. And why this is so great is Mother Sita was not with him. So he continued his search and he saw these symbols that he had known. He saw a bow and arrow. He saw lotuses. And he went to this place. And who did he meet there? Vibhishanu Jaya. Vibhishanu Jaga, sorry. He saw Vibhishana waking up. See the beauty of that poetry. First scene he sees with Ravana, sleeping. First scene he sees with Vibhishana, waking up. And then he sees Mother Sita after that. But there's so much depth in all of this. So I'm going to focus on the Vedanta part. Lankini tells Hanumanji that your master is a thief. The Vedanta in all of this is anyone who's not worshipping Bhagwan is a thief. So Lankini is a thief. Ravana is a bigger thief. Hanumanji is not a thief, and definitely Bhagwan Rama is not a thief. Why? When you take what doesn't belong to you, that's called stealing, right? If you make this more universal, if you don't appreciate what is given to you, that is also stealing. Who's given us all that we have in our lives? Us. When we are not worshipping Bhagwan Rama in the form of living for him or being grateful, we are thieves also. And if we think of our week, we do worship, but we worship our bosses. We worship our bank account. We worship our dinner plate. That's all us being Lankini, serving Ravana. And this blow that Hanumanji delivers, that blow is changing our wrong identification. Our wrong identification. When Lankini is hit, she starts to bleed. The word rakta is used. The word rakta is an icon for raga. When someone is attached, it's because they think they can find joy in the worshipping of their boss. the worshipping of their bank account, their dinner plate. But Hanumanji hits her and shakes her identification that raga is bled out, that there's no attachment because they're not projecting that happiness is outside anymore. They are feeling the presence of the divine. They're feeling that joy. When Lankini realizes her mistake, she thanks Hanumanji for this satsang. She then goes on to bless Hanumanji. And that's awesome because Surasa blessed Hanumanji, Lankini blessed Hanumanji. And what Lankini says, she says to Hanumanji, this is a great section for you to know about. This is the 5th section of Chaupais, the beginning portion. This is around the first 2 Chaupais. Lankini says, Hanumanji, go into Lanka, and if you keep Bhagwan Rama in your head, in your heart, in your hands, then poison will be transformed into nectar. Poison transforming into nectar is the experience with Surasa. She was the mother of the snakes, right? She blessed him. Foes will turn into friends. Lankini is her foe, his foe. She becomes his friend. The ocean will become as small as the hoof of a cow. When a cow walks in mud and that's filled with water, it's very small, right? The ocean will become like that. This just happened too, correct? Fire becomes cool. Soon Hanumanji's tail is going to be on fire, right? But Hanumanji never experiences that burn. And finally, Mount Meru appears like a grain of sand. When Hanumanji took off of Mahendra, that hill, what happened to it? It went straight to Patala. It turned into a grain of sand. So in this section, there's a whole summary of Sundarkanda. Remember we read that Mangala Shloka that summarized Sundarkanda? Here there is again the summary, the key being here, Bhagwan's Kripa. With grace, Sundarkanda becomes manifest, and Sundarkanda is ours sadhana. With Kripa, sadhana turns to be like this. Hanumanji remembering Bhagwan Rama in head and heart and hands, that's Bhagwan Rama's ring in his mouth. Prabhu mudrika meli mukha mahi, jaladi langi gai achara janahi. Quickly he went to Lanka and quickly he came back. All of this is shared. Some about Ravana and Vibhishana. Lanka is known as Deha Nagari. Deha Nagari, also known as Maya Nagari. Deha and Maya. Raja Janaka and his kingdom is known as Videha Nagari. Deha Nagari, Videha Nagari. Deha Nagari, Deha means body, and the body is a temple, correct? We say that in English. Deha Nagari is when your body appears beautiful, but inside there is ugliness. So outside yoga, inside bhoga. That's Deha Nagari. Outside yoga, I wear pants like this, and I walk like this, and I wear a tilak. But inside, that confusion, greed, jealousy. Videha Nagari, outside yoga, inside yoga. There's no hypocrisy there. Outside is like a mandir, inside is like a mandir also. Ravana is like Deha Nagari. And Vibhishana is like Videha Nagari. Ravana's place where he lives is known as a mandir, but it's clearly not. Vibhishana's place where he lives is known as a mandir. Clearly it is. Now when Hanumanji saw Ravana, how many heads did he have? Ravana only had one head. We poetically think Ravana had 10 heads. Ravana only had one head. How could you move if you have 10 heads? Who's the listener in 10 heads? He had one head, but he was 10 times more of a kami than someone with one head. So Vivek has one head. I am a kami. I'm a desirous person. Ravana's 10 heads is indicative, or that's poetic for being someone who has 10 times those desires. And when someone has so many desires like that, how do you find them? Sleeping. Always tired. Work doesn't tire us. The mind tires us. And where does the mind get its fuel from? Desire. All connected so far. And a little bit more. Hanumanji does talk to Vibhishana. When Vibhishana wakes up, he's saying, Ram, Ram, Ram. And he goes and talks to Vibhishana and says, what are you doing here? And Vibhishana says, I am like a tongue living amongst teeth. What thoughtful writing. I'm a tongue amongst teeth. Who hurts your tongue the most? Teeth, no? Vibhishana is the tongue. Ravana, his family, the people living in Lanka are the teeth. And they keep biting him. They keep hurting him. And Hanumanji tells Vibhishana, you are a tongue amongst teeth, but remember, who came first in a mouth? The tongue comes before the teeth, correct? And who will stay at the end? The teeth will go before the tongue goes, isn't it? So he's supporting him. What an awesome, good, clean fun they're having with each other. I remember hearing, how do you know if you're getting older? How do you know if you are old? You and your teeth sleep in separate rooms. You sleep in one room with your tongue, your teeth sleeps in the bathroom with everything else over there. Going deeper into this, a tongue is soft, right? Your tongue is soft. Your teeth are hard. We buy toothpaste to make our teeth harder. Don't look at this physically, but as one's heart. One with a soft heart will always be appreciated, will live forever. One with a hard heart, they get broken easily, isn't it? You can't break your tongue, you can break your teeth. Someone with a hard heart, they don't carry on for themselves nor others. I'm a tongue amongst teeth. And though Hanumanji doesn't say this, but if you can infer, if you have to go to a dentist, your tongue can call that dentist, correct? So how great the tongue is that, Vibhishana, you're suffering amongst the teeth, but now you've called in the dentist. Hanumanji is there. Hanumanji is like the hygienist. And Bhagwan Rama is like the surgeon that's going to come in and remove all of those teeth. See how modern Ramayana is. Finally, and this is a subtle thought, as they're conversing, Hanumanji and Vibhishana, Vibhishana keeps remembering Bhagwan Rama, and Hanumanji says that's not enough. You can't just remember, you also have to practice. Here, Mother Sita is living in Lanka. What have you done for her? True, no? Mother Sita's there. Vibhishana knows that. He's not done anything for her. You can't just remember, I attend Ramayana class, but I don't want to overcome jealousy. Then we're like Vibhishana. Hanumanji says you have to remember and practice. Go help her. Tell me where she is. And then Vibhishana wakes up from that dialogue. It says, Mother Sita is over there. Hanumanji goes over there, and where we just completed our Vedanta and Ramayana, he is miserable, seeing her misery. And our katha in Vedanta will continue. Oh.